your service from the land of the chill. If I can't warm you, baby, nobody will. A genuine Canadian man.
Hi there, bonjour, dzień dobry, kamusta ka? This is Paul, your Canadian flippin' Pole, and I'm here on my last day here in Japan. So let's get going on to my video. Tara na! Here we are, it's the next day. We're actually getting ready to leave from our hotel. Now you're wondering probably what happened to the temple visit. Well, unfortunately, when we were walking that way, I was starting to get a bit cold and starting to, starting to chill a bit. So I decided to turn around and head over to get back to the hotel and further to have a hot shower and try to warm up again. I think I probably caught a little bit of a cold, so I was in bed pretty well from when I got back to the hotel to this morning. I think I'm feeling better for the most part, and we have to get moving anyways. So we're just gonna check out here pretty soon, and we'll be heading to the Narita for the last time on this trip, and we'll be catching our plane for a connection to another airport in Japan before we head out to Manila. So we're gonna do this pretty soon here, and then we'll check in when we probably get to the airport, and I'll chat a little bit at that point. We've made it to our gate, so we're just waiting for the flight to Nagoya. It's 9:54 right now, and it's our flight leaves at 10:30. So it's just a local domestic flight. So we're only here or the flight is only an hour long. One comment I'd make is that it was quite quiet here in the airport, and I found that a bit strange. But then it was pointed out that you can practically get anywhere in Japan by train, and probably a whole lot easier. You arrive and you get on the train and you get going, whereas here arrived how much earlier, then we had to wait, we're waiting, and then we fly there, get there, the departure, the arrival, everything but everything. So I think it makes sense that it was quite quiet in the domestic part of the airport. But anyways, we're just gonna wait right now about half an hour before we board our plane, and then we're off to Nagoya. We have now arrived at Nagoya International Airport, and we're just waiting for our luggage. Oh, and it looks like Sabrina just got it. I'm sitting down right now because I don't know. I think I definitely caught a little bug yesterday when I was walking about, and I think it was just I just got chilled, and so we're gonna go get our next boarding pass. Then we have unfortunately a 7-hour layover here, and so we'll be waiting here for a while, and maybe if I get a chance I can sleep somewhere, and maybe that'll help me feel better. But we're gonna go find the ticket office pretty soon, and then we're gonna go and deal with finding our gate after that. So after getting the luggage, I got to notice some of the stuff around the receiving area. That I found that interesting. This whole line of pigs, interesting. And but we had to get and find our next gate, so we just started walking, and this time we didn't really have anybody to guide us, so it was just let's try our best and look for what we could find. So from there we had to go upstairs, and I was finding that it was actually, the airport was looking quite nice. I was impressed with the terminal that we were in right now, and so I just sort of taking it in and seeing really nice tall wide open spaces, and which was nice to see. I like these open spaces here at this airport, and any airport really. And I was looking around, and I saw up there, was sort of neat, is a bunch of ninjas flying up, or doing their thing above, just statues, of course, but but just seeing that there. And then this was really neat. As we were going from the one terminal, and there was this central terminal area, there's this in the bridge going along, there's these statues that were just sort of like as if like they're all sitting there, giving little information and doing their thing. These these little dolls, as if like they're teaching a class, and which I found sort of really neat, different to see, like as if like there was they were all traveling and doing their thing, or or to say as if there's little kids playing, and they just left all these little stories along. So this was sort of interesting, and as I was as we're trying to find the gate, and we finally made it into sort of this central terminal or central area that was sort of entering into there's the two different terminals, but we saw that we had to go to Terminal 2, and yeah, yikes was the total thing. As I'm walking along, and it's like we had to walk to the next terminal, which was nice. It did have this area that you could was somewhat sheltered, but as you could see, there was glass, but it was open. It was open to the outside, and it was cold. Again, as I said, I definitely had caught a cold, or I was chilling from earlier from the previous day, and so I had to get through this, and as you can sort of see, like I was moving a lot faster than I would have just sort of enjoyed the sights and enjoyed the ride. No, I definitely is using this to my advantage to get over to the next terminal, because this was definitely a bit of a walk, which normally it would be okay. Like we did this in Incheon, we did this in like in the different areas in Hong Kong this year, and as I said, Incheon last year, and it was neat to see this, but it was cold. It was I was like it wasn't like freezing cold, and then I get to the end, and here's a kids park and museum in the next building. As you can see how far I had to walk, so I get into the building here, and all of a sudden here's the Flight of Dreams Museum, and then all of a sudden some familiar names. Here's Starbucks, of course. Find Starbucks everywhere. But so I'm going in and I'm looking around, and it's warmer in here, but I was already cold, and I just needed to go get something to eat, sit down, warm up a bit again, and here all of a sudden a big airplane. So looked like it could have been an interesting museum, and we did have that layover time, but I just really wasn't feeling like it. I was just needed to go sit down. We finally get over to the terminal area, and where the tickets are, and it was empty. There was, like, we could see there was a couple chairs, but nothing was here. So all I really could do is we sat down. I actually we had to wait for how long there, and I actually slept for a while. Finally, we got our tickets after I was sleeping on this little chair that we saw, and we get in and we get past the checkpoint, and here's this like sort of empty area. You know what? I honestly think that what was happening, I didn't really get it checked, but I think they were renovating this, or they were building this second terminal. We finally get to this other area, and okay, now we got some restaurants, but as you can see, it was like it looked like there was still a bit of construction. There wasn't the ceiling was not completed, and there were some restaurants, but there was also just big empty spaces. Thankfully, this area was a lot warmer, and then finally, after waiting some more, we got in, and we were in the walkway to go find our airplane. And it was, as I said, it was very bare bones at this point. And even though we were essentially going on to an international flight, we were now directing us to go down these steps, and I was like, okay, well, where are we going now? And so, as I said, Sabrina's leading the way, and I'm just following her along here, and we're going down and down, and it's like, okay, well, where's the walkway to get to the airplane? And next thing I know, we're outside. And here we go. There's the area where we gotta get to the airplane, and it's outdoors again. So yeah, no, they must have been definitely renovating the terminal, I'm assuming. I'm gonna check further in the future here what's going on. But now we're outside again, and it's covered walkway, but we're outdoors. We're going to the airplane, and I got a chance to rest for a while, but now I'm out in the cold again, and I'm just freezing myself out, and it's like, okay, well, we're on the tarmac, and here's the airplane. Wow, look at that. Okay, so here's the plane where it's Jetstar, and we're have to climb up into the plane, and we're gonna go in. So I'm gonna go sit down right now because it was so cold, and I'm gonna try to warm up now they're in the plane. Well, we are on board Jetstar flight. We are now en route to back to the Philippines. We're going to Manila, and so yeah, we're going to back to the land where weather is a lot warmer, and we're going to we already have a hotel booked, and so we're about to take off, and so let's have a great flight. And just like that, our 3-day adventure to Japan was done. It was a whirlwind of places and things to see, from Tokyo Station and Akihabara, Shibuya to Narita. It was a great experience, and I know I only got to see maybe 1% of everything that Japan has to offer. There are so many fun and historical places I really want to go visit, and I know there are at least a few toy and model trains with my name on it. Also, I hope to visit some old friends from Canada that now live in Japan. I can't wait to go back when I have more time, money, and warmer clothes. Probably, I should come back a bit later in the year when the weather is warmer. Maybe when the cherry blossoms start coming out. Before anything though, I want to give a big domo arigatou gozaimasu to Japan and all the wonderful people I met while there. I look forward to visiting again. Anyways, we made our way back to the Philippines and to our next destination, Manila, where we'll be visiting the city for a few days. With very little problems, we landed, got through customs, and found our way to our hotel to rest from the plane ride trip from Japan. As soon as I got out of the airport, I think my body started to defrost, and with a good night rest, I continued to feel much, much better. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my little excursion out to Japan. I had so much fun, and I hope you did too, following along. If so, I would humbly ask to give a like on this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what better time to do it than right now? Your likes and support is appreciated in helping my channel grow. So, as I like to say to all my viewers and supporters, thank you very much, merci beaucoup, dziękuję bardzo, maraming salamat, salamat kaayo, and domo arigato gozaimasu. Until next time, ingat, ayo, cześć, salut, sayonara, and see you next time.